Hello, this is the Truth for Your 20s podcast, and today we're talking about giving a derm. We're talking about skincare. This is a subject that's obviously interesting. If you type in what's the best skincare, you get 9 million results. I know myself, I've been confused. I've spent a lot of money trying to find what works, wasting a lot of money figuring it out along the way. And I found Give a Derm, and I'm so excited about this product. I'm so excited about these ladies and the philosophy behind it. So I was like, hey, can y'all be on the podcast? And by golly, they said yes. Praise hands. So welcome, Juliana and Michelle, to the Truth for Your 20s podcast.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thanks.
It's such a wonderful thing to be here. So we're so excited.
So first, just a quick introduction. We will start with you, Juliana, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so I'm the co-founder of Give a Derm. My mom and I founded the company. Gosh, it's probably been, 7 years now. The whole process has been underway for probably about 12 or 13 years. It all stemmed from my mom having a misdiagnosis of broad spectrum use of a chemo cream on her skin by her doctor. And it was all preventative to prevent skin cancer. Turns out that chemo cream was not supposed to be used broad spectrum and ended up making her super sick. She went into acute liver toxicity. The products that the her dermatologist at the time actually prescribed, they were just skincare products, but they are prescription skincare products. Turns out that our alternative healthcare physician said, hey, listen, whatever you're using on your skin is like you're drinking alcohol 24/7. So you're going to have to, your liver is processing it that way. So you're going to have to find something different. And so literally we scoured everything. I was in massage school at the time. And so I was becoming very aware of how the body works and what was good and what wasn't good. And so we found that products that were clean enough didn't work. And products that worked weren't clean enough. And it was a very exhausting process. So we stripped it back to olive oil and coconut oil. And for those of you who have been down that road, for us at least, it just absolutely wasn't doing anything. And so it wasn't proactively feeding our skin. It just sat on our skin. We're just like, what are we going to do? So it was actually a miracle. We connected with a formulator who was like-minded to us. And we started sharing our hearts and our vision with him. And likewise, we actually kind of formed this incredible relationship, if you will, as far as wanting to change the world with healthy skincare. And so what we decided to do is we really wanted it to be cleaner than anything out there on the market. And my biggest issue with what I was coming up against in the clean skincare realm is that you might have everything organic and fabulous and well-sourced and all this, but you'll have some sort of toxic preservative. Okay, you'll have something where they're bending a little bit, understandably, because truthfully, there's a lot of expense in the manufacturing. I mean, it's understandable, but we had to sleep at night. And so we didn't want to compromise anybody's health. And so we just went down this grand road of beta testing, working with him, going back and forth, back and forth. We are, just so everybody knows, we're not tested on animals, we're tested on our friends. And so we would literally just be like, hey, listen, try this, see what it does for your skin. We want to know. And so we were obviously very ingredient conscious, but we sometimes, just like you think all these ingredients are going to go really well together in a dish that you're making to eat, it doesn't all taste good and doesn't all make sense. And so we've just been into this process. So we really soft launched about 3 years ago. And it's just been a grand adventure ever since. And we are super excited. We have a 5-step facial addition system. Honestly, those 5 steps found us. We didn't find them. We started beta testing products and we were just like, what is working, what's not working, and what's working well together. And all of a sudden there was just this synergy that came together with these 5 steps. And so I'm actually going to introduce Michelle too. Michelle is a face yoga fitness instructor. She's a skincare expert. She is head of our research and development. So she's just flat out fun to listen to. So Michelle, I'm going to have you just kind of take it away, talk about the 5 steps and why they're important and why you're even involved, your story. So go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had my own health journey and discovered that there was just nothing out there that fit the standard for what I was looking for. And it was really frustrating. And then when Juliana was talking to me about and this was pre-launch. So she was talking to me about these products, and I'm going, hurry up and launch them. I need them already, right? So I get the beauty of being able to be one of those friends who are testing the products. And as soon as I got to experience them, it was definitely a transformative experience. Anybody who does demos with us, we do a demo on one hand so that they can see the difference between the two hands. And most people immediately go, oh my goodness, how did you do this? This is crazy, you know? And so it's 5 steps, but each step builds upon each other, and it creates this synergy that you almost can't explain. But the first one, it's a cleanser. You know, most skincare start with a cleanser. Ours is a little bit different. It's not a gel. It's not a cream, but it gives you the benefits like both of those do. It gets you a really good deep cleaning because of the clay, but the peppermint opens up those pores, allowing the clay to actually go a little bit deeper below the surface than a lot of clay cleansers out there. So you're getting a super detoxifying experience. But clay in and of itself holds on to water. And most people are afraid when they hear the word clay, thinking it's going to strip their skin. And that's typically because of the chemicals that are paired with the clay in their products that they've used in the past. But the way ours works is it actually rehydrates your skin. And so just from the cleansing experience, you're looking at yourself like, oh my goodness, there's a glow that I haven't seen in a long time. And it's amazing. So then you go into vitamin C serum, and with the clay cleanser, it's prepared your skin for a really great, for your skin to be able to drink up these ingredients. So all of our products are super bioavailable, really absorb well. And so they don't sit on top of your skin like a lot of products you might experience out there. But the vitamin C serum, the sensory experience is so amazing. It's like the smell, the feel. I mean, you almost want to taste it, right? It's just, it has this really great experience. So with that vitamin C serum, it's doing your typical things like brightening the skin, and it's reducing the dark circle. I mean, the dark aging spots, just like you would expect. But when you take our vitamin C serum and you put it on an apple slice, just like you do with your citrus fruits, it keeps that apple slice from oxidizing. And that's what's happening to your skin. It's creating that protective barrier so that you don't have to worry about all those environmental toxins out there that you get exposed to all day long. And it's slowing down that aging process because of that oxidization being blocked. So then you go into the uplift. That's number 3. It's another serum, but it has this nice creamy texture to it. To me, it smells kind of like a sugar cookie, you know? So again, the sensory experience is lovely, and it goes on really smooth and it glides. But what is amazing about this one, and a lot of people aren't familiar yet with the word phytoceramide, but if you look it up, it's pretty fantastic. A lot of plastic surgeons, they'll use phytoceramides to help speed up the healing process of the skin. And so what it's basically doing is it's acting like a sticky protein and connecting all those broken fibers together so that it can just do that healing process. But when you follow it up with number 4, our bamboo mist, which again is a heavenly experience in itself as well. I'm going to say that about all the products because all of them do that, but it's just, I really mean each one can be your favorite all on its own, just like when you have multiple kids, each one's your favorite, right? So anyway, you have the bamboo mist, and it's fantastic because if you've ever looked at bamboo underneath a microscope, when you've chopped it down, within 20 seconds, it starts regenerating and creating these fibers to start growing again. So when you've taken with the uplift and stuck together those sticky proteins, the broken fibers, that bamboo mist starts regenerating that skin, creating a stronger skin, structure than you had before. So all of a sudden, between those two, you're getting this firming, tightening action together that when I tried it for the first time, I did a before and after photo of each product, right after each product. And about 15 minutes later, I called them and I'm like, guys, I feel my skin still tightening. I feel like I need to take another photo. So they were like, take another photo. And I did. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's just crazy.
Wow.
So anyway, so the bamboo mist at that point in time does go and seal your pores. So if you wanted to stop there, you could, because I know a lot of people in summertime, extra creams and products, you kind of want to go a little light sometimes. So you could stop there, but honestly, you really kind of don't want to, because number 5, is called a Nourish. It's got all these amazing ingredients like frankincense. It's got platinum, and it's got all these things. But the one thing that I'm going to talk about is called Cagilia root. They use it in South Africa and in Germany to heal like psoriasis, eczema, even leprosy. It's used good for acne. So all the people out there who have had any type of skin issue, and I know with acne, I had an experience with that as a teenager. You're terrified of using these creams because you're worried it's going to block those pores. And this actually goes in and kills the bacteria that causes acne and makes it even better. So you end up with this dynamic set with a 5. And then, of course, the mask and the eye cream, those are just awesome too. The mask is a resurfacer. So it's kind of like a way cheaper version of being able to go get low-level laser treatments, because it's resurfacing the skin without the trauma that you would have when you go get those spa treatments. And it smells like tropical fruit. It's pretty amazing too. And then that eye cream, this one's my favorite, actually. Well, no, they're all my favorites. But the eye cream, you want your eye cream to do 3 things, and this one does all 3. It reduces the puffiness, it reduces the dark circles, it reduces the wrinkles. And so when you can get all 3, it's worth every penny. It's amazing. And so I just love it. And then I can go into the body products too. You didn't mention the body products, but the body products, the scrub your ash off. Juliana is brilliant with these names. She is so clever and so funny. So when you get to spend any amount of time with her, you're going to know how awesome she is in that regard.
Well, let's just be real. Like I want things to work. I want them to have amazing ingredients, but I also want them to be fun. Like, people associate organic with sometimes just tofu or something. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to be offensive to anybody that likes tofu. I don't care for it, but it's just, you know what I mean? Like you just associate it with like, nuts and things that are just feel like they're just kind of, blah. And so we just wanted it to be fun. We wanted it to bring joy. It's a huge part of the whole philosophy of our company. It's like, you don't have to be boring and healthy products. You can have fun with it. So
I was going to ask who the mastermind is behind the names. So it's you,
well, I'm goofy enough that I'm kind of unafraid to step out and have some punniness going on and some play on words. And it is fun to almost cuss, it is.
Yeah.
And
So I was going to tell you guys I'd say, my favorite, trying to pick a favorite. I don't know, but the Mother Plumper, you guys, yes, that's what it's called. Mother Plumper.
Yes.
And Mother Sludger. Just
Yep. Mother, and then we call it the Mother Load Kit, because really that one, gosh, that's our newest product, and it's an ancient technique. Slugging is an ancient technique. Is it Korean beauty technique? Is that right, Michelle?
And it actually goes further back than the Korean, but the Korean brought it back to light.
Yeah. And so the whole concept is it's just going to improve and exponentially just exponentially improve whatever skincare you're using. And so really we wanted that to be an on-ramp for a lot of people. If they're using whatever skincare they're using, that's great. But we wanted them to experience the purity of who we are. And so between a Mother Plumper and a Mother Slugger being in our Mother Load Kit, we wanted it to be something that they could use with their current products. And then once they understand what that does for them, and what it does is it literally, the majority of the time, like I think there are over 200 million hashtags on TikTok and social media for slugging. Well, the whole point is the majority of people out there recommend petroleum jelly. And if that's your jam, go for it. For us, I don't want any petroleum byproducts on my skin. And so we decided to create our own version of the Slugger. And so we did that. And so what basically you just after whatever last step of your skincare routine, you apply that. And we recommend, and I sleep in it because it's just going to intensify what, what you're using on your skin. If you don't have the bandwidth for that, some people, they may not be able to sleep in something on their face like that's a little bit heavier, a higher emollient kind of thing. Then you just leave it on while you're doing chores or, however long you can, and then you can just take it off. But because ours is not petroleum based, it will actually eventually absorb into the skin, and you can feel good about it because it has things like shea butter, super high octane vitamin E, things like that are just going to intensify the nutrient value of what you're using. So then at that point, typically people fall in love with that, like what you're saying. And so then they're like, wait a minute, what other products do they have? So anyway, so it's kind of a fun on-ramp for us.
That's awesome. I remember reading one of the reviews. It's been very true of my experience that I feel like I'm finally giving my skin what it's been asking for, or like watering it, fertilizing it, whatever, and I think that it's also true that I've gotten all the things, the drugstore stuff, the expensive stuff, and everywhere in between. And some of it's better than others, of course, but it feels like it's all just on the surface doing an okay job. And I feel like this is up. I don't know. I guess all the stuff that you explained, Michelle, stuff I didn't even know how to explain. It's doing all of that, and I don't have to understand it. I just have to smell it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I think it's cool that it all builds on each other as well, like the 5-step process.
Absolutely. I mean, I say this a lot. I said, our products are a lot like we are. We're decent. We're good on our own, but we're better together. You know what I mean?
That's right.
We do better in community. We do better when we work together. And no man or woman is an island.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, but I feel like, I think I know this is your podcast, but I guess I would like to know your experience initially of our products and how it was different, like experientially, whether it was the smell, whether it was the whatever you were targeting in your whole regime. How were we different? How did we stand out?
Yeah, I think that, as I said, just nourishing, I felt for the first time. And, I've tried a lot of different things. Some of it is harsher, some of it's like super exfoliant, appealing, I would say. Some of it more Vaseline, petroleum based, and again, I could say, well, this is better than others, but I feel like the difference was just giving my skin what it was thirsty for. And I was thinking a lot about, as I've been using it the past few weeks, just kind of like nutrients, what we eat, because I could survive if on Cheetos and Coca-Cola. I wouldn't die, but
Right.
I wouldn't be very healthy. And not that, I mean, well, shoot, probably some of the stuff I have used before is like Cheetos and Coca-Cola, but some of it is just what I feel that the difference for in my experience is just the nutrient denseness of
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think that my skin's like, thank you. Hello.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. And we really do. Our philosophy is take out the things that you don't need. So detoxify the skin.
Yeah.
When that you'll find that in our bar soap. We have a proprietary clay blend that acts like a magnet and begins to pull the toxicity out, pulls the environmental, pollutants, whatever you've been exposed to. And then we really believe in just presenting the body with the right information and the right nutrients so that the skin kind of has instructions on how to just be healthy and be beautiful and be radiant. And so that kind of leads us to our philosophy as a company. We just believe that the more comfortable you can be in your own skin and understanding your worth as a part of society, and that we are, you say, fearfully and wonderfully made, reverently and wonderfully made, that we each as individuals have something to bring to the table. And so what we as a company want to make sure people understand is that they are worthy and worth investing in for the long-term health of their mind, body, and spirit. And so, that is really that is our hope, is that people would understand that, if you are into fillers and if you're into having augmentation, what, to each their own. But for us, we want to empower people with the knowledge that they are individually so valued and so worthy of more, and that, like my mom has said all the time, she said, she's in her 60s and she'll say, look, she said, if I start augmenting myself, or if I start freaking out about the fact that I'm in this decade that I've never been in before or whatever, she said, what is it going to do to my goddaughter? She's like, what would it do to you? She's like, you're going to think, oh God, I've got to go see a plastic surgeon, and once I hit, 45, or once I hit 50 or whatever. Or maybe if this keeps happening, I mean, people are doing these things in their 20s. It's like, where does it end? And so we just really want to encourage people, like, hey, empower yourself with information, do research. What are you putting on your skin? How is that going to affect your internal organs? How is that going to affect? Because, your skin is the largest organ of the body. And if it goes on your skin, it's in your bloodstream in under 30 seconds. So for me, I want to make sure that I'm keeping burdens off my immune system, especially in my daily uses. Okay. Or twice a day or 3 times a day uses. I want to make sure I'm keeping things as healthy as possible, so that if I do encounter a virus, or I do encounter that, my body's fully ready to fend it off, to have all this extra, room to work, breathe, and move. And so, that's a huge part of who we are, is that we just invite people to, hey, like, bring who they are to the table, invite them to give a derm, invite them to challenge themselves to a new adventure of clean skincare, actually toxin-free skincare that does actually work. We don't contain chemicals. We're not forcing a change. We're actually empowering the skin, empowering the body to do what it does best. And that is, if you're presented with the right information, as a structural, I'm a body worker, I'm a structural therapist. And if I present someone's body with the right information, it does all the work. It's beautiful. We're made to heal. And so that's a huge part of our philosophy as a company. We love the fact, we're so proud of the fact that we are American made. All of our containers are American made. Not only are they American made, but they are glass, and it's Myron glass. It is a glass that is, it actually, when light hits the product, it actually improves the product. There are frequencies in the glass that actually make the product better and actually increase the longevity of the product. And so there's no wasted space in what we're doing. We're using everything to try to bring the best we can forward, so that people understand and can trust who we are. And so, but yeah, so we're American made, we're cruelty free. We do use organic raw honey, but that's it. They're sustainably harvested, but we're essentially vegan, but there is some raw honey in there. So we just want everybody to know that up front. And these bees are treated like kings and queens. And so they're just they're treasured. Okay. They are literally part of the beekeeper sort of family. And so, yeah, it's super important that people understand that with intention, we're trying to be super intentional with what we do, that, we do want to invite people to give a derm about themselves. And it's just fun to say. Go ahead. Just say.
And the thing is God already made things perfect. We don't have to put things in a lab and create these chemical cocktails to make it quote unquote better, because it already is awesome. So that's the thing I love about this, is we're not having to do any altering of what God's done. We're just using it to improve our lives. And like Juliana was saying about, it's like we're burdened down all day long with news or toxins, whatever. So your skincare, it doesn't have to be serious. It can be fun and you can enjoy it. We've had people who are in their 60s who have said doing skincare has always been a chore. And then when they tried Give a Derm, they were like, I don't want to do 5 steps. And then when they tried it, they were just like, oh my goodness, I can't wait till my nighttime routine because it's so much fun, and so we love that we have now brought joy back into something as simple as skincare, and the great thing is I had my birthday this last week. I turned 45, and I don't have to be feeling drudgery about that. I can seriously just enjoy life where I'm at and know that I'm doing things that take care of my body. And, because we are mind, body, spirits, when one is not being taken care of, the other two feel it, right? And so I'm supporting my body in this way so that my spirit can be fully engaged, my soul and mind can be fully engaged. And, you know, so it's just a really neat thing how this really truly is more than just skincare, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's, I don't know, I just love and adore it. But I do want to get back to talking about that scrub your ash off, because there is something fantastic about this. I'm not a scrub girl because that's one of those products, I don't know why, but in my mind, that's just one of those products that people concoct in their kitchen and just rough up their skin, right? And as a skincare expert, it's one of my pet peeves to see people exfoliating their skin in such traumatic ways, because what that's doing is it's causing the wrong kind of collagen buildup. So yes, you are getting that glow for a short period of time, but you're actually causing trauma and damage to your skin by doing that constant scratching over and over. And so with the scrub, when I experienced it for the first time, it's an oxygenating scrub. So when you get it, it looks like a normal scrub, but then you add water to it and it activates it. So it starts bubbling up and oxygenating. And what's awesome is you can put that on your skin and let it just bubble up with no scrubbing and still get the results. So it's gentle enough for a baby or even your grandmother with the thinnest of skin, but even just that light, just polishing that you can do, it's a very, very luxurious experience. And so recently my daughter got married and I went head to toe with that stuff, you know, and it was just like, it's just so much fun. And but the lotion, let me just tell you, so I do not like lotion or greasy things. It took me probably 4 to 6 months for these ladies to talk me into trying it, and I was terrified of it as if it were a spider in the room with me, you know. And so I got to try it, and it does not leave you with that greasy feeling. Your skin absorbs it and it drinks it up. And you know, the one thing we did talk about, but we didn't go in detail, just a little bit of education. I love science. So most skincares out there, they really heavily hit the whole need for moisturization, which is a fat and lipid content. So all of your oils sit in that category, and they do a great job of sealing your skin. However, a lot of people go from cleansing to moisturizing. So all you've done is cleanse the skin and sealed it, but you didn't fill it in with any nutrients in between. And it's in those in between stages where you have a really big opportunity to hydrate the skin. So if you were to take a raisin and put it in a glass of water and in a glass of oil, both of them are going to plump up. It's just the water one's going to plump it up faster, right? And so that's what Givaderm products do. It's actually hydrating the skin and then going in and sealing it. And so, you know, when I started out, I had decent skin, or at least I thought I did, until I took those before and after photos. And I was like amazed at how hydrating it was for my skin. And that's what that plumper does, that new product. Oh my goodness. I mean, even with all the products we've been using with Givaderm, I've been doing it for several years, and I still, from using the plumper and the slugger, I called them the next morning and I was like, fine lines are reduced. I can't even believe it, because my skin was already looking good, you know? And so it's just fun to be able to have hydrating products that I can trust, because those are the ones that penetrate the skin and go in really deep. The oil ones just sit on top. So, you know, it's like, I would never advise anybody to go out there and just get any hydrating product, because that's the stuff that's going in really deep. But this stuff, I mean, you could eat it. So I trust every bit of what it's doing. But I don't know. Anyway, I think I covered the scrub and the lotion now. So now I feel better.
That's good. I was going to ask you, Julie, when we first talked, I know obviously our market is 20 somethings and they're not thinking about wrinkles. They're not thinking about like skincare. Well, I mean, maybe skincare, but I love it how you said that, correct me if I'm wrong, something about like we're in holistic caring for your skin long term, and how the way you nourishing the skin, I think is how you said it. So I would love for you to unpack that a little bit more.
Me, is it you're addressing that
Yeah.
to me?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. And so yeah, I really, it's kind of like it's never too early or too late to choose healthy options.
Yeah.
And so I cannot emphasize enough stewardship of your skin, because my mom actually started with me when I was probably 7 or 8 years old. And
Wow.
she was like, hey, like, you need to cleanse, and we need to get some moisturizer, and you just need to get in a habit of this. And I thought, okay, I didn't know the difference. I'm like, all right, well, I'll just add it in when I brush my teeth. You know what I mean? And so I started super early. And so I would say, especially for the 20 somethings, I would just invite you to begin to look at the products that you're using, and then do your own research and go, hey, is actually what is that, what are we doing with that particular thing, what is, you name it. I mean, I could, what is mineral oil is not full of minerals. Mineral oil is a petroleum byproduct. What is, you can go through it and figure out, oh, wait a minute. And that's honestly, that's our journey of grand disillusionment of
Yeah.
what was in our skincare. And so I personally I think 20 somethings specifically would benefit from our products, because they're easy to use. It takes what, 90 seconds, maybe twice a day. But it's also going to build a foundation of really good skin. And so if you don't, it's like I said, it's never too late to do it. Even if, I don't care if my grandmother was in her 80s and was using our products, and she loved them, and it made a difference in her skin. However, if you stop using the toxic products now and can start building a foundation of healthy skin, vibrant skin, you will carry that on into the future.
Yeah.
And so that's but it's just like, if you stop, look, I don't want to knock Hamburger Helper if that's a thing, but like, if you begin to, make tiny changes, if you're going to do Hamburger Helper, at least use grass-fed beef. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, start making those changes that you can't, they're just subtle, and they're not that expensive, but start now so that you can carry forward these habits that actually will benefit you tremendously as you age and as you mature. And honestly, I think there as well, there's this vibrancy that comes through when people are using our products. I don't understand it. I've still tried to figure it out. I think it's way bigger than our products, but they feel like they're stewarding. My dad would always look at my mom, and because he passed away super unexpectedly 3 years ago, and 3 or 4 years ago now, but he would say, hey, you're beautiful, steward your beauty. What, I'm all about that, right? And it's just such a great phrase, to steward your beauty. Like, it's just never too early. And I loved one of our she's an influencer and pretty big personality, and she said yeah, she said, honestly, she went straight for it. She said, it's the 20 somethings that need to know about your products. She said,
Yeah.
because I'm telling you, she said, they need to know good habits, positive nutrients. Detoxifying their skin now will be limitless for the future, as far as, again, those foundational elements. So, and I know I've seen, some of your reels, and who and what you're about, Katie. And I just love how you're talking about positive habits, and you're talking about positive things that you can do to set yourself up for success. And so if I like to talk about that with, people that are dating or whatever. It's like, hey, make those decisions on the front end and set yourself up for success. And so it's those sorts of things that it's so easy to think about just the now. No, like think future. So I guess that was a really long explanation for it. It's a very good foundational change for where they are.
And I think with 20 somethings, you have two big concerns at that age. And one is acne, and one is, they're out in the sun all the time. So they are developing skin issues at that age that will show up later that they don't see now. And our products, a lot of them are very great for that acne stage of life, because they kill all that bacteria and they nourish the skin in a way that's going to heal if you have any of the scar tissue. So you may not end up with any of those results later with the scars. It's just amazing in that regard. But a lot of the products are good for after sun care, which is kind of like that, the lotion. It's one of those things that's got the hydrating and the moisturizing in it. And so all of that's going to heal your skin in a really amazing way. But if young people are not wanting to invest in the whole 5-step system, what's really cool is I call it my go bag. You know, if you take that bar soap and then you take the lotion, those two together create a very good system for the whole body, including your face. And so that right there would be a really good place to start for the 20 somethings who are still building up their repertoire of the cleaner products. That lotion and that soap, it's going to give them a good complete skincare regimen for that age and stage in life that doesn't need to or necessarily want to pay attention to the anti-aging parts. But of course, the vitamin C serum is a good one because it is going to be protecting their skin against the sun as much as possible. But those would be the two products that I would kind of hone in on if they're wanting to check that out.
Cool. I love how, speaking about, like, not only just buying something that's good for your skin. A lot of times when I talk to sororities, I say, hey, you are trendsetters. What you do makes a difference, and what you support, the companies that you support, changes the world, gets into my marketing background. And so you specifically with your company, as you said, out to make a positive impact when it comes to your skin, but you're also making an impact with the world. The skincare industry is a little backwards, messed up. I don't know how we want to, what the adjectives are there, but I would love for you to just unpack some of the good things that you're doing without doing the bad things.
Well, I think we can probably say there are no human byproducts in our skincare.
Which is a thing. I didn't know that. I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah. There's anything from aborted fetal tissue to I can dive a little bit deeper if you'd like me to.
Go for it.
Sandra Bullock touts that she has baby penis facials that they somehow they extract whatever they're trying to extract to and clone to apparently it firms up the skin. And I just have huge concerns about this. I feel like this should never ever happen.
Right.
And on any planet. Certainly not anybody that has any sort of conscience, really.
Right.
So that was astounding to me. I'm still, as you can tell, it's a struggle to even say it. It's absurd to me. So for us, we wanted to make sure, actually, we had somebody run up to our booth at one of our events and say, is there aborted fetal tissue in your products? And I said, no, ma'am, absolutely not. And she's, we really attract the label readers, which I love. I love it. And I love it when people come up to our booth all cynically, like, yeah, whatever, what kind of crap ingredients do you have in here? And then they go, really? And so they're just literally like, they're talking to themselves while they're reading our labels. And I was just like, yeah, help yourself, whatever. Just like, and so we are making a positive change and trying to create, I believe, and I tell people, if there was anything out there like us, I would be using it and not co-founding a company. Because quite frankly, co-founding a company is a lot of work. It's a privilege, but it's a lot of work. And I want to create, my mom and I are in lockstep on this, that we want to create awareness. That's our number one. Hey, we want to empower you to look things up, to be aware of what you're, I don't care if it's toothpaste, be aware of what ingredients are in there and how they're sourced, and that's a really, really big deal. And then also, when people just say randomly, like flavorings, right? Like, well, what does that mean? So it's like, or fragrances, what does that mean? It's like over how many chemicals, Michelle? It's like over 3,100 chemicals can be hidden under the word fragrances. Okay. So we don't have any synthetic fragrances, so you can know that. But it's like, there's this world that I had no idea. And I thought I was using clean enough stuff. I thought, like I'm fine. And then the more I started looking, I thought, oh, this is completely unregulated. So I would really, we want to be an industry disruptor because we want to empower you to be fully you. and to be fully aware and be able to use our products with confidence as you want to change, as you want to invest in yourself and invest in your future. However, it's way more than that. Like I said earlier, it is understanding your value as you. Okay, not becoming a clone of. I guess there's the new procedure that's just called like I want the Barbie, and so like I don't fully understand it, but you can go into a plastic surgeon and say I want the Barbie, and then you can come out looking like the Barbie or a Barbie. And I just want to tell you that's theft. That's theft to the world of who you are. It's theft it on a grand scale, because like I said, we have to fight this. Like we have to, I want people to understand that they are valued, they are loved, and we want to be that change. We want to be that change where we're pioneering something that in our 40s, like I said, we're not that my niece at 9 years old isn't going, oh gosh, am I over the hill at 15? Where are we? Where
Right.
are we? I mean, my friend cried when she hit 30. And I was like, okay, I'm it's so good. My 30s were good, girl. Like they were good. My 40s killing it. Doing great. Like, and my grandmother, like perfect. I mean, perfect. Um, character sketch, I guess, if you would, for Give a Derm. She said, honey, she's like, my life didn't start till I retired. And I was like, oh wow. Like we have to. Let's embrace it to the fullest. We only have control over the now, right? And that is, are we going to choose joy, or are we going to choose something else that isn't helpful, right? And so that's where it's just like, hey, let's have fun. Let's have fun. Let's use quality things, and let's laugh as much as possible. Let's embrace life to the fullest. Let's look at ourselves in the mirror and go, you're valued, you're loved, and you're worth it. And you're investing in yourself, whether it would be skincare or organic foods or whatever it is. Those tiny choices make a difference. Okay. Sometimes they're big, but sometimes they're tiny. And it's in choosing whatever the healthiest option is for you that you can afford within your budget. And that does make a difference. And so, yeah, we're excited. We're excited to be here. We honestly, we hope that, that hopefully your audience will take a second look in the mirror and consider loving themselves a little bit more, and consider looking at themselves, not their flaws, but their beauty, and that they have a lot to bring to this world. Because the majority of, if you have 20 somethings in your audience, you guys are world changers.
Preach.
Okay. You guys are world changers. And if we don't have you guys and your longevity for the future and what you represent to the world, honestly, we are passing the torch to you. Just so you know, we are passing the torch to you. And it's time that you stop listening to the voice of criticism. Okay. It's time that you fully embody all, if I'm fine saying this, all that God has called you to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's choosing the truth in your life, and how you're going to pull that forward, and how you're going to operate in that, and how you're going to follow your own yellow brick road, because it's so individual. Okay. I don't carry the same stuff Michelle carries. I mean, she doesn't try to be me. I can't try to be her, and I love that. And I find total peace in that. So I just really want to encourage you guys to be the change that, as you think about people that you want to influence, be that change, whether it, like I said, whether it be in, choosing what you're going to watch or not watch, or choosing what, whatever it is, bring your truth to the table, bring the truth that you are called to walk in to the table. And, Katie, I know you're a huge part of that, and an encouragement. And honestly, there's not another generation that I know of that is going to rock the world, honestly, like the 20 somethings, because I believe you guys are a set of deep thinkers, and you're a set of you're the 20s for me, I think, was trying to figure out what I'm called to. I'm still figuring it out. It's okay. You don't have to have it all figured out in your 20s, but there's a beauty in those powerful decisions. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being courageous. Thank you for showing up in your life, because that's what I'm trying to do. Okay. That's what I'm still trying to do it. Hey, I want to show up for myself. I want to show up for the people around me, because you will be a change. Okay. So there you go. That's all I could keep going, girl. I could
When
keep
we
going, but
when we first had our conversation, Julie and I were like, we're best friends. We're best friends.
I
No,
know.
seriously, because you have just enough sass by naming something Mother Slugger and scrub your ash off, and just enough. Yes, Gen Z, I see change in you, and that's what I'm over here screaming too. And I couldn't agree with everything you said more. And I love that in where God has called you in this lane of skincare. I mean, it matters. It matters, because I was just as confused as anyone else trying to Google what can I put on my face that
Sure.
won't give me cancer and also
Yeah.
not and get rid of wrinkles, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing great work. You're doing great work for lots of men and women, for our future generation. And I'm thankful to just shine a light on what you guys are doing. So thank you so much for
Well,
that.
I'm super excited, and I think that you have do you have an affiliate code
I
that
do. You
that
know,
you
we'll
would
be
like
linking that in
to,
the show
yeah,
notes.
just make sure that your audience knows that they're going to get 10% off
Woo woo.
of whatever purchases they make. And I just feel like that's really important that you guys understand that we are wanting to partner with Katie and invest in your future as well, and give you guys an opportunity to try some things out and to make, make some new choices. So yeah.
Okay, so I always end a podcast episode with, if you could have coffee with your 20-year-old self, what would you say? But I want to spin something for you guys. So you're gonna say, if you could have coffee with your 20-year-old self, don't put X on your face, like petroleum products or whatever. I'll let you fill in the blank. Don't put X on your face. And you need to use like one thing. I know they're all our favorites, but like you need to use Mother Plumper or whatever, a clay cleanser. So is that a fun game?
That's fun. I like
Okay.
it.
Okay.
I would say uh don't put mineral oil on your face for me. And if there was one product, this is so
I
freaking
know.
hard. It's just so hard. Probably because they all do different things. I'll say slugger for today. Mother slugger. Yeah. Yep.
Did you just cuss
I'm
at
gonna
me?
stick with that. I could say so much more, but I'm gonna stick with it. Okay, Michelle, what about you?
Okay. Well, so can I answer the first question too?
Yeah.
The one you normally ask? If I were to say something to my younger self over coffee, I would say, don't be afraid of what other people think. Like, be you to the full abandon and just go all in, because the world needs that. So that's what I would say. And then let's see. So I would say, don't put on my skin. What would I not put on my skin? I don't know. So there's so many products out there that are endocrine disruptors. And if your audience, whether or not they know what that means, it basically stops the reproduction system. And so, of course, being at the age where typically you haven't had that chance to have children yet, I just would be careful just to put anything with the phthalates and the I don't know. I guess there's just all kinds of products out there. So if it's coming from Walmart or Target, I would be hesitant to buy it. That's what I would say. And then as far as just the go all products, I think I touched them. The bar soap and the lotion with that combo, it covers head to toe. I mean, in a pinch, I have short hair, so I can get away with it. But like in a pinch, even that bar soap is a good shampoo bar. And so it really can be your everything two products.
Yeah.
So
Y'all are so fun. I'm excited about this. I mean, I really am. I've never really done this on a podcast where we just talk about stuff, but I believe in what you're doing. I'm thankful that I found it. I mean, I'm sure my daughters, it's so funny. I have two girls and they're like trying to steal my stuff. I'm like, hey, don't steal my stuff.
That's
So
so great.
no, we love what you're doing, not only just for our skin, but for our world, how you're ethically sourcing everything down to the preservatives and even the bottles. So over here cheering you on. But thank you for helping us give a derm. I couldn't help it. I had to say it.
Thank you so much for your time. It's been a blast.
Make sure you check the show notes, guys, so we can get that discount. All right. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.